What's up, YouTube? You already know, it's your boy Sticks, and we're going back in the mix. Hey, check this out. If this is the first time you're coming across my channel, on this channel, I talk about everything crime related. Sometimes I tell you my lockup stories. Sometimes I'm doing reaction videos. But I really do appreciate you guys coming back to my channel. Now today, I got a good reaction video for you. We're going to be watching some more of the magistrate arraign these inmates. For me, these type of videos are fun because I get to see why they got locked up, and I also get to see if they're able to get a bond. So I'm kind of learning as I go. Now I do have a couple subscribers that know a little bit more about this than I do. And I've actually learned that in most places, if you're being expedited, they have up to 10 days to come and get you. If they don't, the jail's allowed to open up the door and release you. So you could get a lot of knowledge from these type of videos, and that's exactly what I want to do, is show people kind of the inner workings of how these arraignments go. And what better to do that by making these reaction videos. Now this video I haven't seen, so I have no idea what we're about to watch, but let's get into it and see why these people got locked up. Come on.
All right, what's your name?
Daniel.
What's your first name? Let me check something. I'll be right back. It looks like you might have some attachments.
Some attachments. I guess that means previous charges. Maybe holders? I'm not sure.
Okay, Mr. Yazel, you have looks like 5 attachments that were issued all on November 22nd of 2022 for failure to appear. The first is in a theft case. You have a $500 appearance bond pending the resolution of that attachment. The second is in a theft of, actually the first 2 are in theft of, okay, so I have 3 that are in theft of merchandise cases, including that first one. And 2 of them have $500 appearance bonds. One of them has a $4,000 appearance bond. Then you also have one in a simple possession casual exchange case. You have a $500 appearance bond there. And then finally a drug paraphernalia. You have a $500 appearance bond on that one. So total, it's $6,000 for those attachments. You understand what's going on?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have also been charged with drug paraphernalia. That'd be a Class A misdemeanor if convicted. You understand what you're charged with there?
Yeah.
Would you like me to would you like me to read the allegations on that one?
No.
Okay, if you cannot afford an attorney, I can appoint one. Would you like me to do that? Okay, I need to ask you some questions on those, make sure you qualify, as well as to set your bond on that new case. Will you raise your right hand and be sworn in? This is the uniform affidavit of indigency that you filled out at the jail. You swear or affirm that everything you filled out on this form, any testimony you give, is true and accurate? Thank you. have a job?
No.
Any property, a house or car that you own?
No.
Any other forms of income or of assets?
No.
You live in Knoxville?
Yeah.
How long you lived here?
I mean, I've lived in Sevier County, Knoxville, my whole life.
You have family here or Superior County?
Yeah.
Who would that be?
My mom, dad, my grandparents, my brothers, my uncles.
And is there anybody that would vouch for your liability to show up in court?
What?
Is there anybody that would vouch for your liability to show up in court?
Yeah.
Who would that be?
My grandmother.
His grandmother. She say, boy, you better get to court or I'm going to get out there and get that switch and get after you. I just hate how people run their family through the ringer when they're out doing these type of crimes and stuff.
I'm going to set the bond on this new one at $1,000. So your total bond will be $7,000.
Big
With
difference.
everything. And I'm going to set these in court on Monday. Let's see which court that's in. Okay, I'm going to set it in misdemeanor court. On Monday, January 9th, for a bond review. So if you are unable to post these bonds, judge can reconsider them at that time. If you do post them, they will give you a different court date to go to where you're being released. Go to that one instead. And it looks like you are represented by John Wood in those attachment cases. And I will appoint Mr. Wood to represent you in this new case as well.
I'm not going to make bond on this.
I'm going to waive the administrative fee that we normally assess for the appointment of counsel because it's already been assessed in the pending case. And Mr. Wood's telephone number is 675-4830. Try and get a hold of him prior to your court date, which if you don't post that bond will be on Monday, the 9th. That's all I have for you.
Alright, so before they bring in the next person, I'm actually learning different stuff by reacting to these videos. I have a few subscribers that write in the comments and kind of give me the ins and outs about different stuff that I really don't know, like how long they have to expedite you and things like that. But let me ask this. So when they're sitting there asking you if you have a job or if you own a house or something like that, is that due to trying to raise your bond? Or is that just to make sure you're going to stay in the area if you do make a bond? Do you think the people that actually have jobs, they have a house, they own a car, you know, they have assets or whatever, do they get a higher bond because the courts know that they can afford it? Or is it just set bonds? That's one question. The next question is, back when I was in the mix, if you had an unpaid ticket or something like that and you got pulled over, you could go down to the Justice Center and do 8 hours and get released, and those 8 hours will wipe out the amount of that bond. Is that how it is where you guys are from? And I don't even know if they still do that. So do you basically get credit like each day you're in there towards your bond? Just some questions. If you know, put it in the comments, because I'm not too sure how that works.
I'll be right with you. What's your name?
Isaac Grigsby.
They must have just woke him up.
Okay, Mr. Grigsby, you have been charged with aggravated assault. Looks like two counts of aggravated assault. Each of those would be a Class C felony if convicted. You've also been charged with carjacking. That'd be a Class B felony if convicted. You've been charged with aggravated robbery. That also would be a Class B felony if convicted. And you've been charged with evading arrest in a motor vehicle. That'd be a Class E felony if convicted. And you've been charged with drug paraphernalia. That'd be a Class A misdemeanor if convicted. You've been charged with driving on a suspended. That'd be a Class B misdemeanor if convicted. And finally, you've been charged with leaving the scene of an accident. That would be involving property damage valued over $1,500. That'd be a Class A misdemeanor if convicted. You understand what you're charged with?
Yes, sir.
Would you like me to read the allegations?
It's hard.
Okay, you have some rights I need to go over. The first is the right to remain silent. No one can force you to make any statements. Any that you make voluntarily can be used against you. You have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, I can appoint one. And you have the right to a preliminary hearing, that is a probable cause hearing, where the judge will hear the evidence against you and decide whether this case is strong enough to be bound over the grand jury for further prosecution. You understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
Would you like me to appoint an attorney?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I need to ask you some questions on oath to make sure you qualify, as well as to set your bond. So you raise your right hand to be sworn in. This is the uniform affidavit of indigency that you filled out of the jail. You swear or affirm that everything you filled out on this form, any testimony you give is true and accurate?
Sir.
What's that?
I say yes, sir.
Thank you. You have a job?
No. I don't know.
When was the last time you worked?
Probably like a month ago.
Where was that?
It was like a carpet company off Clean Highway.
Any property, a house or car that you own?
Huh?
Any property, a house or car that you own?
No, sir.
Any other forms of income or of assets? Any other forms of income or assets?
No. Income.
Any other forms of income?
No.
Anything else of value that you might own that you could sell to hire an
No.
attorney? You live in Knoxville? What'd you say?
I said yes, sir.
How long you lived here?
My whole life.
You have family here? Who would that be?
My dad, shit, everybody, uncles, sisters, brothers, my whole family.
And is there anybody that vouched your reliability to show up in court?
Yeah, my granny.
His grandma, too.
Unfortunately.
This guy's ready to just go sleep it off in his cell. He's killing me with how many times he's already yawned and rubbed his eyes. Look, real quick, I apologize for any background noise that you're hearing. I'm at work, so...
Hey, my name's Tornado 204. I got his number, so I gave it to him. Can you put it in his cell? Yeah, right. No, I don't want to tell him. He gonna let it go.
I'm gonna start calling this the work truck reactions. But look, if you can't find time to do YouTube, you make time. If you want it bad enough. Multitasking is what I call it. Take my lunch break and do YouTube. He's got to stop yawning, though. It's too much.
But they hate me.
I mean, there's nothing else to do but sleep and pace, so... I mean, if you can sleep, you might as well go sleep. Try to sleep off them hours. Dang. He's getting ready to fall down and go to sleep right there. Another thing too, these videos show you that not everybody in jail is scary. You know what I mean? There's some regular people in jail too. Not all of them is 250 pounds, 6 foot something, you know?
Man. Yeah, I've got you know how much we get? I think 9:30. What? Yes.
This is way more complicated than you believe as far as setting the bond on these. There's actually quite a few issues that don't normally pop up. I'm sorry it's taking so long.
Real quick. Just wait till you do it.
Hopefully it'll just be a minute or two before we can get going again.
That one's right there.
Getting a drink of water, he needs to splash some on his face and wake up. But look, I guess when you're facing that many felonies and stuff, it don't matter. I'll be surprised if they even give him a bond.
Okay, so on the leaving the scene, I'm going to set it at 500. On the driving on suspended, I'm going to set it at 500. On the drug paraphernalia, I'm going to set it at 500. And then on the evading arrest, I'm set it at 1,500. So that's 3,000 total so far. And then on the aggravated robbery and the carjacking, I'm going to set it at 15,000 each. So that's 33,000. And then on one of the aggravated, actually on both the aggravated assaults, I've set it at 10,000. So that's a total of 53,000. As a condition of those bonds, should you post them, on all of the aggravated ag robbery, the carjacking, and the one aggravated assault, you don't have any contact or communication with alleged victim, who is an Alvin Buchanan. And then on the other aggravated assault, you would be prohibited from committing or threatening to commit the offense, the assault against the alleged victim or other family or household member. You'd be prohibited from harassing, annoying, telephoning, contacting, or otherwise communicating with the alleged victim, either directly or indirectly through someone else. And you'd be directed to vacate and to stay away from the home of the alleged victim, and to stay away from any other location where the alleged victim is likely to be. You'd be prohibited from using or possessing a firearm or what other weapon specified by the court, which I'm not specifying any, it's just firearm, while on bond. You'd be prohibited from possessing or consuming alcohol or any controlled substance without a valid prescription. And the alleged victim's name in that one is Shauna Jones. Of course, I put it on the wrong warrant. I'm going to set these in felony court on Monday, that's January 9th, so that if you're unable to post these bonds, the judge can revisit them at that time and reconsider them. If you do post them, they'll give you a different court date to go to when you're being released. Go to that one instead. Did you mean to put that you have $500 income on your form?
Yeah, I don't know. I just woke up and I filled it out.
Okay.
I am eating.
You make any?
Yeah.
Oh, sleepyhead.
Yeah, all of it.
As soon as that's done printing out, I'll get you an attorney.
This one's taking a little while.
The district public defender to represent you. There is a $50 fee for the appointment of counsel. That needs to be paid in General Session Court Clerk's office on or before January 19th. But if you're unable to pay by that time, they'll add your court costs, includes the case. They have the number of the public defender's office to jail. Try and get a hold of them prior to your court date, which I'm going to set on Monday if you don't post those bonds. That's January 9th.
All right.
That's all I have for you.
All right, I'm good.
That's it?
Alright, let me ask something, because I know some people that watch these videos, they're a little more educated on how this stuff works. If you have a high bond, right? And they allow your family member or something to put up their house or their car or something like that, some type of collateral to get you out, and you run on them charges, do they really harass your family and try to come and take their house or whatever? Or do they just put pressure on you like that so that you'll help them get them back in court? What I'm saying is, have you ever met somebody that actually lost their car or their house due to bonding somebody out? Put it in the comments and let me know.
All right, thanks, sir. Have a good morning.
Have a good morning.
All right, well, I guess that's it. Only 2 today. But look, have you guys ever heard that saying? What they used to say back in the day, like, when you get to jail, you go in there and you hit the biggest guys so the rest of them don't mess with you. Don't do that. That's the worst piece of advice that I've ever heard. I don't know if it's a joke or people's trying to be serious, but normally in lockup, the weaker people, right? The people that they know they're not going to fight for their stuff. They constantly got families send them in. They're maxing out on commissary, stuff like that. That's the people that's going to be extorted and taken advantage of. They don't really want to mess with the people that they know is going to fight back because they want that easy lick. It's just easier just to go mess with that guy. He's not going to do nothing. But if you go mess with him, you might get his commissary, but he's going to fight you. Win or lose, he's going to throw hands with you. So look, if you ever heard that saying and you believe that type of stuff, man, don't do that. You're going to get yourself hurt. In lockup, you need to sit there and kind of find out, be aware of your surrounding. Know who's who. Who's robbing, who's stealing, who's grimy, who you could kind of trust. And hopefully, if you're in a double cell where you got a cellmate, that makes all the difference to how you're going to do your time. If you walk into a cell and your cellmate's in the mix, he's a jack boy, he's running around, he's doing all this and that could fall back on you. Me personally, I would much rather have a cellmate that just sits back, chills, reads a book, and that's not doing all that crazy stuff. Because your cellmate could get you hurt in lockup too. Another thing, your cellmate can set you up. They can set you up. If they go off the block or somewhere and they tell you to watch the house, and then a couple people come up, hey, check this out, and you leave the cell for a second and he gets robbed, that's on you. But little did you know, he set it up that way. Now he's going to say, I left you in charge of the house and you let him come in and rob me. That's on you, because I don't know who robbed me. But really it was his homeboy, and they're splitting the commissary, and now you're expected to pay it back, or else you're going to have to face the consequences with that. Look, lockup is just grimy. It's dirty. People are always trying to come up with new ways to get up on top. And you can hustle from a lunch tray all the way up. You don't have to get on that phone and bother your family, put the guilt trip on your family to send you money, this and that. If you're a real hustler, if you're somebody that's really about your business, there's something inside that lockup that you could come up off of. There's always going to be people in there that think that they're the hardest, they're the strongest, they're this, they're that. You can bet a lunch tray that you can do more push-ups, pull-ups, whatever it is than them. The whole key is don't lose. Don't challenge somebody if you know that that's all they do all day long. But if you see somebody that's not really doing that, you can bet them, come up off a tray, and then just keep working your way up. You don't have to get on that phone and turn this into some type of crazy thing where your family thinks if they don't send you money, you're going to be hurt. Plenty of people do that. And I have no respect for the guys that I've seen on the phone that's yelling at their mom. They're yelling at their grandparents. They're literally yelling at them. Send me the money, send me the money. You know, or they're lying to them. If I don't get that commissary slip by such and such date, they're going to hurt me. And really, nobody's going to hurt them. This is just a criminal way of thinking. And now you as a criminal out on the street, and now basically you're lying to your family so that you could get ahead in lockup. But hey, look, that's the video. Until next time, hold your head and stay out of lockup. For real. It's crazy in there.